No one will know this is a hearing aid. Let's check this out. Oh, Dave Taylor here, and believe it or not, I'm actually using a hearing aid right now to enjoy some music off my iPhone. You're looking at this and you're saying, a hearing aid? Dude, that's just around the neck earbuds, right? And that's exactly what they look like. This is the BeHear Access personalized hearing aid, and it's a pretty darn interesting device. So there's this whole category of devices now that are actually assistive devices, but they look like regular old consumer electronics. So I'm just trying to figure out a way to hold this so you can see everything. So this is, in fact, a pair of earbuds that are wired to a device that sits around your neck and gives you all sorts of electronics and stuff. And of course, you can use these just to listen to music if you want, but they do a whole lot more. They are for mild to moderate hearing loss. If you have severe hearing loss, you might have other devices you need. But, you know, when you look at something like this, you think not, oh, this compares to a $30 pair of earbuds, but this compares to a multi-$1,000 hearing aid. And these are better, more functional, more flexible, and actually sound pretty darn good too. So it's a customized hearing amplification system. So the first thing you do when you get these is you actually run a hearing test on both ears in an app that you've paired with the device, and it then gives you a custom sound signature based on what you can hear well and what you can hear poorly. And so, for example, my right ear at the very top end of the spectrum has a little harder time differentiating sound than my left ear does. This thing automatically can compensate for that. Pretty nice. So, also has active noise cancellation. It has settings for live conversations, phone calls, listening to music, outdoor concerts, all these different environments, and everything's super customizable. In fact, possibly too customizable. So if you have a relative or maybe a parent who needs something like this, or this would be great for them, then this is something where you might need to help them a little bit with the settings. There are a lot of settings, which is great because there's a ton of flexibility, but it can get a little complicated. Now, in terms of the device itself, it is a Bluetooth 4.2 headset with 4 built-in microphones. So yes, you can use it for phone calls, and obviously it's using that for things like the active noise cancellation and for filtering out unnecessary ambient and background noise. It has a T-coil driver, and it only gives you 200 to 8,000 hertz of frequency response. So it's not like the world's best audio product, but it's not intended to be. This is not competing with a $1,000 headset or something, right? This is a very specific device, and music sounds entirely fine and good. Features a 250 milliamp hour battery. I was going to say 250,000 milliamp hour battery. That'd be a really big battery. You don't want one that big. This is a 250 milliamp hour battery, which is plenty enough. Takes 2 hours from dead to a full charge, and then it'll run for 13 hours in assistive hearing mode, or 8 hours if you're actually listening to music or something like that. Now, the charge is a little funky, so let's start looking at actually some hands-on pieces, because you charge with the included base. They call this the cradle, and so you just drop it in and it charges. So the upside is it's pretty easy to do that. It has a micro USB on the back. It includes a micro USB wire. So you would just leave this probably plugged in your kitchen or something, and then at the end of the day, you would drop this in and let it charge. There's a little light, and the light changes color when it's fully charged. When it's done, you just pop it off and maybe just leave it like that. And then when you're ready the next morning, it's ready to go for 8 to 10 hours, no problem. But the downside is if you lose the cradle, there is, as far as I can tell, no backup alternative. Oh, wait, no, hang on. I spoke too soon. There is indeed a micro USB backup charging plug. So huge props to them for that. A lot of times with these sort of products, if they have a specific charging device or dock, you really are stuck if you lose it. So this is just a nice add-on. You don't need to use it, but you will definitely want to use it, because obviously doing that to charge it is way easier than fiddling with covers and little wires and stuff. So really nice, and they surprised me on that one. It also comes with lots and lots of stuff. Let's actually pull it out of the box and just give you a quick tour. So it's a very nice package, and you open up the box and then there's the plastic protective cover, and then the headset is actually in here in a way that you'll never duplicate. You'll never be able to get it back in there, but that's okay because you don't need to. And then inside there is a really nice little travel case, which is very helpful. And of course, there's also that micro USB charging cable that goes with the dock or cradle. But much more importantly are all these ear wings and ear tips. So in fact, it has 3 ear tips, 3 ear hooks, 2 pairs of wind covers, all of that so you can fine tune and get exactly the right size for your ears. And I can tell you, as with every device that goes in your ear, it makes a huge difference to make sure you have exactly the right size. So take the time when you first get this product to really experiment and try different ear tips. And the ear tips are interesting because they're split. So I've never seen a design quite like this, but it means there's a lot of opportunity for air to go through, so there's no issues with, sometimes when you have a really good seal, there's a pressure differentiation, and that gets a little awkward or uncomfortable. These don't have that problem because they have those split earbuds. Now, wearing it is super comfortable. Let's see, I put it on this way. The power button is on the back, and here's something they've done that's really super smart. They have buttons duplicated on both sides. So whether you're left-handed or right-handed, you have next and previous and pause and play and answer the phone call and hang up the phone call, all of those redundantly on those controls. And that's really great. So I really, really like that. And I really wish other companies would consider something like that. I am right-handed, but sometimes I'm doing this, but other times I'm doing this. And I like the fact that there's that redundancy. There is a magnet here, so automatically the earbuds themselves will click together. So now I could be running a marathon and these aren't going to fall out, which is great. And then when you're ready to put them in, it is literally as easy as that, and then you reach behind. Let's get them in, there we go. And then you reach behind, right behind your neck, and that's the power button you push, and then you have voice prompts, super nice. Right? So it also comes with, like I said, it comes with an app, and that app is pretty important because not only are you going to use that for your hearing test, but it's going to give you all the controls that you need to be able to actually manage your earphones or your BeHear Access, right? So let me step you through the app real quick. It's called the BeHear app, which is reasonable, and the hearing assessment, it has all these as main modes. If you can go in and you can dial in specific levels that you want. There's personalization. There's tons of stuff. It's pretty neat, actually. If you're curious, you can actually go into the Android or iPhone App Store and you can go and look at all the screen captures that they have so you can see all the different features and capabilities. But, this has a lot of capabilities. It's a very powerful and flexible device. Now, some of the more cool other features it has something called Listen Through, which actually enhances some sounds while diminishing other sounds in an ambient environment. So that means if you're at a coffee shop and you're having a chat with your friends or something, then their voice will amplify, but the background ambient noise will actually be reduced. They're doing some smarts on a circuit with something like that, and it works pretty remarkably effectively. It's pretty, actually kind of weird. Much more interesting is they have something called Easy Listen, and this is crazy. Easy Listen can actually slow down speech. If you've ever been somewhere, maybe the DMV or at the bank or something, and the person's just talking super fast and you just have no idea what they're saying, it's really hard to understand what's going on, this can slow that down so you can actually understand, process what they're saying, and respond. Crazy. I wish we had that in real life where I could just go to the top of someone's head and just slow them down 5% or something. Not a big deal, but just a little bit. It also supports something called Telecoil, and Telecoil is a hearing assistive transmission system that you find in churches and concert halls and movie theaters, and this works with that. So for example, if you're heading off to temple or mosque or church and they have Telecoil and your pastor or priest or rabbi or whoever it is has a microphone that actually is hooked up to a system with Telecoil, you walk in, these are plugged in, and boom, you're on that system and you're hearing them. For the first time in years, you can listen to the sermon. Might or might not be a positive thing. I'll let you decide on that. But that Telecoil support's pretty sweet. So, not much else to talk about really. I've given you the sort of rundown on the features. They're really comfortable. They're really easy to wear. They're super light. That 8 to 10 hours of battery life is plenty enough for most people. And of course, it's super easy to just drop it onto the cradle and give it a quick boost if you need it for the evening or something. They are spendy. This is an expensive device because these are not earbuds. This is not an a piece of audio equipment. This is actually a hearing assistive or hearing aid device. So you have to look at that context. Now, before I talk about the price and about their really cool TV transmission system, before I get there, I'm going to ask if you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It's just a button. Just tap or click on that little red button and you'll be able to subscribe, and we'll stay in touch, and I get access to a ton of gear. And I'm super honest about all of it. So go ahead, subscribe. Really appreciate that. Great. Now these, let's take them off. These are the BeHear Access personalized hearing aid masquerading as around your neck earbuds. Really, really cool. They're really a remarkable piece of technology. And for anyone that has any challenges with hearing, these are going to be a game changer. They are expensive. They are $349.99 at wearandhear.com. But if you want to get it with their really cool TV transmitter, which you plug into your TV, and then this lets you actually fine-tune the volume without everyone else in the house saying, turn the TV down, you will like sidestep all of that forever. With this plus the TV transmitter, that adds a mere $50 to the price if you want to get them as a pair, so that's a no-brainer. And if you want something like this, maybe for someone in your life, or you want to experiment with this sort of technology and you're not ready to commit the $349, they do have a BeHear Now. It's not quite the same set of features. The buttons are a little smaller. The circuitry's not quite as sophisticated, but that one's only $249. So you definitely want to check all that out at wearandhear.com. This is the BeHear Access personalized hearing aid, and I am going to go back to my music and go back to my book. So I will put those in. I will get my music going. And hold on. There we go. I'm back in my book, which means, all right, I will catch you in my next video.